So today what we are going to learn about Terraform. So first of all, what is Terraform? Why we use Terraform? Terraform is an open source infrastructure as a code tool developed by Harshika. We used different tool infrastructure as a code. Can someone tell me what we used previously?
Cloud formation.
Cloud formation.
The cloud formation. We used cloud formation. Who
Ansible also, right?
Like who is the owner of the cloud formation basically? So AWS owns
AWS.
it.
It's AWS owns
Amazon Web
cloud.
Services owns it. But Terraform is a very similar tool owned by Harshika. Harshika is a company who owns this Terraform basically. So what is the advantage by using Terraform? Okay, it's a very similar thing. You can provision IT infrastructure using Terraform, and if you can provision with the cloud formation, and you can provision with Ansible as well. You can do that using Ansible as well. So then how you choose one? What is the advantage by using Terraform? Terraform has modules with all the cloud providers. You can provision Azure infrastructure as well. You can provision other clouds like a Google Cloud or Azure Cloud or Oracle Cloud or hybrid clouds like OpenStack, and you can provision AWS. All that kind of infrastructure using Terraform, but you cannot do that using cloud formation. Cloud formation is only for an AWS. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, like we discussed, it helps automating the complete data center by using programming scripts. It's simply infrastructure as a code. We created EC2 instance using CloudFormation. We created EC2 instance using Ansible, and you can do that with a Python. You can do that with a Terraform and whatnot. But nobody is using Python, all the stuff, because you can save a lot of time by writing Python code, and these modules are pre-built softwares already. Behind, they might use a Golang, they might use a Java, they might use a Python, they might use a lot, whatnot, but they're already predefined softwares and we are just using them. And it can save, or like we can save a lot of time by using these tools, and it's very easy to implement. It's not like a Python stuff like that. And human readable code, very simple human readable, either JSON or YAML code and whatnot. Those are the advantages. And the benefits by using only Terraform is orchestration. What is orchestration? Orchestration means like managing your infrastructure basically. So when you create your cloud, right? For example, when you create your infrastructure, when I say infrastructure, what goes into that infrastructure? VPC, subnets, security groups, EC2 instances, and volumes, snapshots, AMIs, and the CloudWatch alarms, and the Lambda functions. Everything will goes to infrastructure basically. That VPC is infrastructure basically. So it will monitor that infrastructure. When you create your infrastructure with a Terraform, you will have a file name called state file. What it does is it will have the whole infrastructure snapshot in a single file. Okay, that is the advantage by using Terraform. if you provision your infrastructure using cloud formation and somebody makes some changes and there is no tracking, but if you do that with a Terraform and there will be a state file, and that state file will tell you, okay, these are the changes that are being made by manual. Somebody, made these changes. That's how it will monitor using that state file. Okay. And Terraform core concept, what goes into the Terraform is variables, providers, and modules, and the state, what state it is, and the resources like EC2 or configure infrastructure and things like that. Output values, return output like a Terraform output for the Terraform module basically. So for example, and if we run this playbook, right, whatever we see over here, this is the output for the each individual task. Things like that. If you execute Terraform as well, you are going to see very similar thing. Output values, plan. So what is Terraform plan? Terraform plan is you have your code ready. For example, you have your infrastructure code ready and you want to test it, and you can plan it before you do even apply to your stack, apply to your infrastructure. That means, let's say for example, you are creating an EC2 instance, right? And you have the script ready and you are planning to create an instance, and you don't have to create the instance to make sure your script is working fine. You can plan it. When you plan it, let's say for example, one of the variable is missing, or the AMI that you provided is not valuable, like it's not like a valid AMI, or instance type that you are providing, there is a spelling mistake in it, or the key pair name that you provided is not available, and those kind of stuff, it will tell you when you plan it. You are not even creating your EC2 to make sure this script is working. You are planning. That plan will tell you, okay, hey, this is the variable that is missing. This is the instance type does not exist. That means there can be like spelling mistake or things like that. The plan will tell you that before you can even apply. The apply will apply the actual changes to your infrastructure. Okay. So the Terraform files will be saved as a .tf extension. Okay. .tf extension. .tf extension. The documents will saved as a docs, right? And a YAML file .yml, and a JSON file .json. Cloud formation .yaml, right? Very similar like that. The Terraform files will be saved as with a .tf extension. Okay. So what is module? Module is nothing but a folder. It's just a folder, and you will have one main file, which is where you can write operations complete, like creating instance or whatever the code that you are writing. Okay. And you will have a variable.tf where you can provide all variable files, not variable files, basically variables inside that file. And you will have a output.tf, something like this. State, not, you will have a variables.tf, and you will have a output.tf, and you will have a main.tf. Those three will be there inside a module, but they are not mandatory. What is mandatory is main.tf is a mandatory. That's where you will write complete code. Okay. And the Terraform init will initialize that module, and the plan will, like I said, plan will tell you before you can even execute to your infrastructure, before you can even create your infrastructure. And apply will apply to your infrastructure, basically. So your plan is saying that, okay, this script is ready to run. And run, that means apply, will create your EC2 instance. The best thing with the Terraform is you can even terminate that instance using the same script. That is the best thing. Terraform destroy will terminate that instance. Basically, Terraform destroy will destroy that infrastructure that you created. Hey, this is so interesting. So what is the use case? Can you give me a best use case, or like where we can use it? Okay, yeah, that is good. I can give you the best use case right now. Okay, hopefully the drawing paint will work, so I can give you very best use case right now. So create new, I would say, okay, let's say I have two EC2 instances up and running. Okay, two EC2 instances up and running, and this is hosting mazes.com. This is hosting mazes.com with only men shopping. There is no women shopping. Let's take it as women shopping. There is no men shopping right there, because women shopping is very important for Mazes people. Not only Mazes people, for everybody. So only hosting only men's shopping, not men, women shopping. And they have implemented new feature along with women shopping. They have included this time men shopping, and they want to test it. Okay, so how they created this EC2 instance? For example, let's say they have a Java specific version, or they have a Maven specific version, and they have a specific users, and they have everything ready for this EC2 instance, and they want to test it with a new version. They would have to create another new 2 EC2 instance, for example. Okay, because they don't want any interrupt. They don't want any interruption like this while they're upgrading their application to have the men's shopping as well. Women should do their shopping. There shouldn't be any interruption. Okay, what I can do, I can create very similar EC2 instances. Okay, and I can deploy the new version of the code with men's and women's shopping in these EC2 instances. I'm not touching these EC2 instances. I can create two very similar identical environment, and I can deploy the code to this updated code. And people can come and they do testing. The testers QA will jump in and they will do manual testing and functionality testing, everything. And once they verify, okay, everything looks good, they will make this identical environment as a production. That means this environment with updated changes will serving to the end customer now. Okay, this is now serving to the end customer. What about this? Right, what about this? We don't this anymore, because here we have only one, and here we have 1 plus 2. So you don't need any more, and you don't have to pay for those two EC2 instances because you don't need that anymore, right? What you have to do, you have to terminate this environment. you have to terminate this old environment. So if you have a script to create this environment, and you can use the same script to terminate this environment. How simple is that? If you do it manually, it will take time, and you might have a miss some parameters. You might have a miss to delete a snapshot, or you might have a miss to delete EBS volume, or you might have a miss to try to remove the users and all the stuff. But if you are using same script, you don't have to do anything. Just just Terraform apply will create a stack, Terraform destroy will terminate the whole stack. Does that make sense? Can someone say yes if it is make sense?
No, Vishnu. So you said again, we need to put the same script over there. What is that? I didn't understand.
So you will be creating these instances with a script, right? With this script, right? Terraform script.
Okay.
When you run Terraform apply, will create those instances. But when you run Terraform destroy, same script. When you run Terraform destroy, will terminate that instance.
Okay.
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 Basically, so we wrote an Ansible playbook to create an instance, right? We wrote a CloudFormation stack to create an instance, right? How we did terminate that instance? We logged in and we manually terminate those instances, right? Or we can write another Ansible playbook to terminate instances as well. But here in this case, you don't need another playbook basically. Whatever the playbook that you are using, whatever the Terraform script that you are using to create your instance, you can use the same script to destroy your instance basically. Does that make sense?
Yes, Vishnu.
So this state file will manage the infrastructure basically. The whole infrastructure will be snapshot, like the replica of your infrastructure will be in the state file basically. Okay, when we do our first example, you guys will understand. Okay, and these are the commands. So what we can do now, we can try to create an instance, and we can terminate the same instance with the same script. And let's go ahead and get started. Let me log into, where am I logging? Let me log into my AWS management console. Okay. AWS management console. Let me log into AWS management console. Okay. And we'll create an EC2 instance, and we'll install Terraform on that EC2 instance. Do I have Terraform installed in my MacBook? Let's see. Okay, I think I have Terraform installed. Yeah, but that's okay. I want to install as well. So me log in as a root user. Any questions till now? Anybody? Balaji? Lata, any questions?
Final cloud formation ఎవరు యూజ్ చేయరా నార్మల్గా కంపెనీస్ లో?
Sorry, I missed it.
ఫైనల్ గా క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్ ని యూజ్ చేయరా ఇంకా టెరాఫార్మ్
So it depends on the client, Lata, basically. So let's say they wanted to use multiple cloud environments, for example. Why should I use only AWS? I have other options as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little bit infrastructure with AWS, little bit with Azure, and a little bit with GCP, because whatever I use, I'm paying for only that infrastructure only. So if they have something like that, in that scenario, they use Terraform maybe. And even if they use Terraform, you're not supporting everything. The project that you are working on, they might use cloud formation. You know what I mean? So we don't know that yet. So that's why we're learning everything. So I think my instance will be ready in a minute. Do I have that IAM user key pair? These people always talk about fiber internet and no hidden charges.
Yeah, that's true. It is good, Vishnu, actually, the fiber internet.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah. We are using the same one.
Oh, okay.
It's still good.
Yeah, but those telecommunications companies, they are such a liars. They are damn liars, basically. They always talk about fiber, they always talk about mix and match, blah, 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 but such a lies. Huh. So let me go to my SSH client. Let me grab this key, go back. You see that the first thing I'm doing, I need to make sure that I'm, okay, something is wrong. Okay, so now, paste it here. Okay, done. Now we'll follow this document, okay? And because I'm going to share that document with you guys so that you guys can follow the same document. So to install the Terraform yum utils, this is the first thing that you need on Amazon Linux. Let's go ahead and install that yum utils. Okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead and install. You see that Harshikap repo? Basically what we are doing is we are getting that repo. You see that this harshikap.repo? We're getting that and we'll just install Terraform with one command like that. Let's go ahead and install that one. Okay, repository saved. You see that? Immediately I can see the output like this. You see? So etc yum.repos.d harshikap.repo. So this harshikap.repo file has been downloaded to this etc yum.repos. This is the yum.repos.d. If you are trying to install something and you are unable to install, this is the place you should go there and you should check like what exactly going on. Okay, and just sudo yum install Terraform. Okay, so to verify Terraform -v. Okay, Terraform version v1.9 has been installed successfully. Now the first thing is we will create a module. Okay, so what is module? Module is a folder, and what we are doing with this module, just create EC2. EC2 is a module. So let's go to that module. I'm inside that module. So you will have basically you will have 3 files inside that module. The first main file is main.tf. That is the place where you can write your all your logic basically. Okay. The next one is variable.tf. Okay. And the third one is output.tf. These two, variable.tf and output.tf, they are not mandatory, but this is a good structure of your module basically. Okay. Now let's go and edit main.tf. Okay. Let me copy the script from here. Or I can write it down. So the first line is provider. What provider is this? Okay, just to do provider. What is the provider? AWS is the provider. Let's go. AWS, close it. Open bracket. Then any variables, you can provide all your variables here. Okay. Something like this, variable equal to and a variable value to ES. What region that we are working on? Northern Virginia, US East 1. I'm gonna get script from here. Terraform script to create an EC2 instance. You see that nobody's gonna remember a script because there is no point writing a script if you remember the script. You are writing a script, that means you would want to reuse it with a short period of time. That is the advantage by writing a script. If you are remembering everything, and there is no point that you are writing a script. Okay, and this guy doesn't have the good code. You see that this is very, very important. You will see complete code, basically the whole infrastructure code. Let me go ahead and grab something here. See example. Okay. These are all modules. That means if you open any of this, you will see the code, complete code basically. But okay, let's open this one. See to complete. Yeah, I don't want to use Ubuntu though. You see that? So you can create a VPC and you can create a subnet and you can create after subnet security group and you can launch your instance inside that security group. Basically what you are doing is you are writing just one script to create everything, the whole AWS infrastructure. But that's okay. It's going to take some time. Let me write down, write this one, whatever I have here. Yes, east one. Okay. Then next, you see that access key secret key, we can provide access key secret key, but do we have any access key secret key available? I don't think so. Okay. Now just to close it, you see that? So open here, closed here. Next, you need to provide the resource, and AWS instance is a resource. It's a predefined software for EC2. AWS instance will tell you, okay, you are provisioning an instance. Okay, that's what this AWS instance will tell you, and that is a resource basically. Okay, if you are provisioning a resource, and what you are provisioning, AWS instance, that is EC2 instance, and this is the just a reference for this example or whatever. You can do anything. Okay, if I want to provision VPC, I can provide AWS VPC or something like that. Whatever the predefined module that they have, we should be providing that right after the resource. Okay, and let me go just to provide resource, AWS underscore instance, and is the same thing. Close it, open it, and
Vishnu,
yes,
what is example, Vishnu?
just a reference. I can write anything instead of example. So if you want to use any of these details, let's say for example, you are getting instance ID, or you are getting instance IP, or you would want to reference any of the data from here to the next resource that you are provisioning, and you are going to need this. So you will be providing something example dot instance IP, example dot instance ID, something like that. Okay, let me go EC2 name, something like that.
So is it like a name in Ansible?
This is like a register in Ansible, for example.
Register Ansible. Okay.
Yeah, let's say if you wanna grab some values, for example, you are creating an instance, right? For example, and right after to create instance creation, and you are going to need instance ID, and you don't know the instance ID because this script is creating your instance, and you would want to see the instance ID. So you can parse that instance ID to the next resource that you are provisioning. When you parse that instance ID, not only ID, any output from this resource, you would need this reference. So the output will be registered in this reference, and you will be providing like EC2 name dot instance ID, and that can get you the instance ID basically. You don't know the instance ID now, but you will know after that. Does that make sense?
We use the same EC2 instance name in a script also.
What is that EC2 instance name? No. So this is the reference for this resource basically. Okay, whatever the resource that you are provisioning, and this is the reference for that resource. It does not belongs to that instance that we are provisioning. This is the reference for this specific task in only Terraform way. It doesn't have to do with the actual infrastructure basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go here. I'll show you something. Give me 1 second, okay? And obviously we need to provide the AMI and we need to provide the instance type. Let's go ahead and provide those details. AMI, grab AMI ID. What else we need to provide in order to create an instance? We have to provide the VPC, security group, all the stuff. Let's see. Okay, let me provide. And then what else we need to provide? Instance type as well, right? Let's go ahead and instance underscore type equals to t2.micro. And what else we need to provide? What else we need to provide? So I did not provide anything. I did provide access key, secret key, because we are going to need those access key, secret key, but I have only that file. Okay, let's try to run it. Maybe it's not going to work for sure, but let's see. Let's try. So I have this bracket open here. Let me close it. It's closed. So the first command that we need to run, what is the first command? When we have the module, we need to initialize that module. So the Terraform init is the command to initialize that module. Okay, enter. Okay, this is good. Terraform has been successfully initialized. Okay, next, Terraform planning. Okay, so what is that? Your infrastructure matches the configuration, no changes. Terraform has compared your real infrastructure against your configuration and found no differences. So no changes are needed. Okay. Next, apply. But this time it is going to fail. When you do Terraform plan, it is look for the syntax issues. It is look for maybe, let's say the variable is not fine or not found or things like that. It is going to look for those kind of issues basically. So the Terraform apply okay, 0 resources added. Why 0 resources added? Because 0 resource added. You see that there is a new file called terraform.tf state file, right? This is the file that I was talking about. If I do cat, this file will completely capture your infrastructure. Currently, we did not have any infrastructure data because the instance has not being created. We will find out why the instance is not being created. Okay. And we need to provide, let me go and grab this actually.
I think you did not give the key pair, right? That is the reason instance is not created.
Yes, we did not provide the lot of things basically. So we did not provide the key pair, we did not provide the security group or not security group, or we did not provide What is that?
Access key, secret key.
Exactly. All those details should be needed basically. So I'm just trying to find out Terraform script to create an easy to instance. It should be in the documentation actually. Okay, let's go to the documentation. Terraform init, Terraform plan. These people, this is like they're trying to do with Ansible, like, okay, this is what you need, this is what you need. But come on, man, where is the script actually? You did not give us any script. Oh, right here. Okay. Source code right here. This is what I was looking for. Go to main.tf. Provider AWS. You see that the region, we hard coded the region. So where is this local, right? Where is this local? You see that local dot region. Let's go back one step behind and you will see a variable.pf file. Okay, there is nothing over here. If there is nothing over here, right, it is getting that value from somewhere. When I say somewhere, probably any of those these modules basically. Maybe probably here, I guess. Output ID, password data, private DNS, public IP, tag all. That's okay. So remember we were talking about what is that EC2 name, Vishnu? What is that example, Vishnu? Things like that, right? That's how we are going to get this region. Let's say they were defining a resource with a local and they don't know the value of the region, but that resource has this value. So get that value from that resource and provide those value here. Things like that. You right here, locals, you see that locals region equal to yes is one, but this is locals though. You see that this is local, but this is not it. So don't worry about that. They have somewhere in these examples actually, but let's create this instance first before get there. Right here, these are the details that we need to provide. So we have AMI and we have instance type and we need to provide availability zone and we need to provide the subnet and the security group, the placement group if there is any, and the user data. All this is not mandatory, and we need to provide the access key and secret key. That's what I'm hoping, but let's try.
So in the real time, so they are going to give us this kind of script and all, or how it's going to be?
Nobody's going to give you the script basically. You see that I found the script in Google.
Yeah, but so whereas the details and all, they are going to give and we need to fill it out, right?
Yeah, you will get those details actually. Yeah, so you will get those details in first, when you start working, they're going to tell you all those details actually. Okay, and let's provide all those details. Subnet ID, availability zone main.tf. Where is my main.tf? You gotta be kidding me. Where did this script go?
I guess it's VA main tier.
Okay, cd create is 0. Now main.tf. There's nothing over there. This is so strange. Provide our, let's call AWS. Region. Yes. Yes, East. One. And AWS access key. AWS access or access key. Let's do access. Let's get that access key a little bit later. AWS secret. Okay. And those values are done. Next, resource. AWS underscore instance. And this is the reference basically. EC2 creation, something like that. To create. And open that one. And AMI. AMI. Let's grab the AMI from here. Not from here. Okay, that is fine. Subnet underscore ID. Let's get the subnet ID from here.
We can just give default things, right? Only access key and key pair, AMI, and the type.
Yeah, but so that we are running Terraform from outside. So you cannot give any default, right? Because it won't know like what is default, right? If you are choosing from the console, it's already there. Did you get what I'm saying? So
Then why it worked in Ansible? Ansible, if you remember, we just give these things. We did not specify the subnet ID and VPC ID. These are the things.
you did not provide subnet ID?
Yes, I just provided.
No, we provided subnet ID for answer.
No, we provided Radhika a subnet ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. To pushing into the Git, we didn't, I guess. So, but yeah.
Yeah, subnet ID, you should provide subnet ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to provide the security group. I'm not sure. You should provide the security group as well, I guess. But what you don't have to provide is any names or things like that. So let's provide the same subnet ID. Okay. Next instance underscore type. I want to do t2.micro. That is fine. Next, what this guy
Availability zone.
subnet ID. This guy provided security group as well. So availability zone. Actually, availability zone is not mandatory though. But let's provide, yeah, availability zone is not mandatory. That's okay. We don't need to provide any availability zone. And these are all not mandatory. So yeah, there is no VPC as well. So we don't have to provide any VPC. So then, yeah, associate public IP, let's say true. And placement group is not mandatory. So, but we need to provide the security group. Let's provide the security group. Okay. No, something like this. And security groups. Let's provide the security group. If it didn't work, this is going to be your assignment. Okay? So make sure be prepared for that. Let's get the security group from here. How I'm going to get the security group in the instance metadata. Right here. And how I'm going to get access key, secret key?
It will be there in root, or else we can create the group
IAM.
IAM. Yeah.
You guys are doing great. What permission should I provide this user?
EC2.
Okay. Yeah. These users doesn't even exist. So add user. And access key secret key for okay. These guys are result full access. Okay. Let's go ahead and review and create a user. Download the security. Okay. Why the colors are gone? This is so strange. Did I use Vim? Yeah, I did use Vim, not BI. Okay, this key secret key. Yeah, my God. We missed one thing. Can someone tell me what we missed? Key name, right? Where is the key name?
Keep there.
Yeah, key pair name. This is how we provide the tags. Region, yes, East, yes, West one profile. We don't need any profile. That is good. Export access key secret key. You can do that to your box as well. Okay, and this is not here. This guy did not provide any key confirm. But let's see. Okay, inconsistency log file.
I think we need to run init again. Terraform.
Terraform init.
Sure.
Okay. Time. This is secret. Access is not expected.
I think we need to give access underscore key instead of database underscore.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do AWS configure. Okay, now. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna configure those credentials to this box, so I don't have to provide anything inside the script basically. So I can go ahead and let's go ahead and grab the secret key. Yes. East one default, that's fine. Now let's go ahead and incorrect attribute. Resource AWS is to creation group. So this is not right basically. VPC security group. We have a string required. Main dot here. Okay. I don't know. Maybe we skipped that part, but how? Let's provide. Did this guy provide any security group basically? Yeah, all these guys provided are only these three. AMI instance type. That's okay. Let's run the script and let's see what happens. You see that? So these are all values that we are going to get it. This HTTP endpoint, that means DNS, and we are going to get all these details. You see that? So the ID, instance ID, AMI, whatnot. Okay, let's do Terraform apply. Let's say yes. Creating an EC2 instance. Let me log in to AWS Management Console and go to EC2 dashboard. You see that second instance is being created. So let's go resources, one resource added. And if I go, when I say, this is the instance ID, when I say the infrastructure has being monitored, right? And if I go to state file, this state file will have all the infrastructure data that we just created. It has instance ID, it has everything. Okay, how, so somebody creates something and okay, nobody knows about that. It's not like that. Whatever you create, your infrastructure, all your infrastructure will be in a single file. This file will be managed like a monitored. So that is the advantage by using Terraform. Okay, any questions, any doubts?
So this file will be created when we do init, right?
No, this file will be created when you do apply.
Apply. Okay.
Yeah, so
we have to configure AWS configure. We have to do before doing. I mean,
yeah,
after doing this.
yeah, you can provide those details inside script as well,
Okay.
but that's not a good way. Nobody's gonna provide the credentials inside a script basically. So you can do AWS configure. Even you can do the same thing with Ansible as well. So if I configure that access key, secret key on this computer, right? And even if I want to write a simple Ansible script, I don't need to provide access key, secret key inside the script because those credentials are being configured on this server. Okay.
So what you're
I
telling
have
is
one
we are not going to, we should not give the access key and secret key credentials in the script.
No, you don't. You don't.
So we need to do the AWS configure and we have to give those credentials over there only.
Yes, over here only when you configure on your box basically. You can configure them on your MacBook as well. And you don't provide any access key, secret key inside the script. In the actual scenario, in the actual companies, work like that only. Nobody will write access keys, secret keys inside a script basically, because all those scripts will be stored in GitHub. So GitHub will be accessible to a lot of people basically, even though they cannot make any changes and things like that, but some people have a readable access, so they can read the values. That's why, so they should be configured on the box basically. Okay, so now our infrastructure
I have a question. Sorry, I have a question here. Suppose you said we can initialize all the variables in variable.tf, right? So how we will call that one in the main.tf?
something like this. Let's say variable.tf, right? Okay, in the variable.tf, for example, you will have this is a HashiCorp structure. Let's go and get the syntax for this variable dot whatever dot. It should be the same thing, but I will make sure. Not outputs, right? We were talking about variables. There is no variables dot here. Okay. Let's go here. Go here. I just want to see the first line of that. Okay. This is like this. Variable. Say. Something like this, right? Is one. Okay. Now I can call this.
You did not close the
Closing brackets.
Done. So if I go to my main dot here, something like this region. Something like this. That's how we pass the values basically. The syntax, well, let's double check the syntax. I just wanted to make sure the syntax is right. I go here. You see that var dot create. This is where the value is coming from. Var dot create, something like this. That's how we pass this. That instance type var dot instance type var dot ami, like that. We will provide like a var dot region. Now,
No,
something like this. That's how we will provide the value. But let's go ahead and destroy the script. I would want to show you guys how this destroy will work. Yes, is one, right? Now let's save it. Now I have this EC2 instance, right? That means I have this infrastructure. I have this, let's say this is my production EC2 instance and this is testing EC2 instance. And I have this infrastructure and I tested it properly. I don't need this infrastructure anymore. I want to terminate it because I need to save some money. So what I will do, very simple. I can go here, Terraform destroy. I'm not writing any script. I'm not logging into my AWS. I'm not terminating my instance, nothing. Variable.tf in the create. Okay, because you have that value over there, and why did you provide in this? Let's go ahead and just clean up. Basically, what that guy is talking about, you have defined all those values, so why you have inside your script? But that's okay. Destroy. If I do yes, will destroy. You see that when these fields were adding to that file, it was plus 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 plus. Now they are being deleted minus 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 minus. You see that? So if I go,
so if we do ls now, the terraform.ts state file will be deleted or it will be there?
we'll check now. Let's go ahead and check. So let's refresh. This instance should be terminated. Yeah, there is no instance, only this instance is there. That's the one that we are working on. Now, if I do, let's go to the state file and let's see what is there. So each time when you update your stack, you will have, you see that the backup state file as well. Okay, Terraform state file, nothing is there. Okay, this is the the state file that initially created without any resources. Remember, that was the state file. I go here, not backup.
So there will be an infrastructure if we want again, so we can initialize, we can do it again as well with this infrastructure, right?
You can, yes, you can do that.
After we destroy as well.
Yes.
Mm.
So your state file has been backed up as a backup file and deleted everything, deleted your infrastructure. Even if you terminate your infrastructure, and you will have this backup file to see what you had there before and what you have terminated. Did you guys get me actually? So in the state file earlier, all these details were there, right? What is the instance ID, all the stuff. When you terminate it, this file has been backed up, this backup file, and your actual infrastructure, what infrastructure that you have right now? Nothing, right? You don't have anything. So that infrastructure has been captured in this file. That is this. You see that? Yeah, you don't have anything. Just Terraform version, blah, 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 blah. Any questions from anybody?